Welcome to today's Blueprint News. As of November 11th, 2025, the latest Senate election forecast from Race to the WH shows Republicans leading the race for majority control, with a 65.6% chance of winning the Senate, compared to 34.4% for Democrats. Let's go through the numbers, state by state, and break down how each race is shaping up across the nation. Starting in Alabama, Republicans dominate this race completely. Senator Steve Marshall stands at a stunning 97.5% chance of victory, while Democrats trail with just 2.5%. Alabama remains one of the deepest red states in America, where the GOP has maintained overwhelming support for over a decade. In Alaska, Republican Senator Dan Sullivan holds a strong 73% chance of re-election. Democrats are polling at 27%, showing a modest but insufficient presence. The state remains competitive at times due to its independent voter base, but the GOP still has the upper hand heading into 2026. Over in Arkansas, Republican heavyweight Tom Cotton continues to dominate with 98.5% confidence in the forecast. Democrats have only 1.5%. This state remains securely Republican. No signs of major shifts or competitive trends. Colorado tells a very different story. Democratic Senator John Hickenlooper holds a commanding 98.2% chance of victory, with Republicans at only 1.8%. Colorado continues to lean blue, reflecting years of growing urban and suburban Democratic strength. In Delaware, Senator Chris Coons stands strong at 96.8%. Republicans trail at 3.2%. This state remains safely Democratic, reflecting a long tradition of blue dominance in Joe Biden's home state. Down in Florida, the GOP advantage continues. Republican Ashley Moody leads with 81.7%, while Democrats stand at 18.3%. Despite close contests in the past, Florida has shifted firmly red in recent cycles, and this projection reinforces that trend. In Georgia, Democrats have reason to celebrate. Senator Jon Ossoff leads with 77.4% compared to 22.6% for Republican Doug Collins. Georgia remains one of the few southern battlegrounds where Democrats have consolidated recent victories since 2020. In Idaho, it's a landslide for Republicans. Senator Jim Risch holds 98.6% in the forecast, leaving Democrats with only 1.4%. The state's deep conservative base makes it one of the safest GOP territories in the country. In Illinois, Democrats continue to dominate. Stratton, the Democratic candidate, stands at 93.2%, while Republicans are at 6.8%. Illinois has long been a Democratic stronghold, largely driven by heavy support from the Chicago metropolitan area. In Iowa, Republicans maintain a comfortable edge. Representative Ashley Hinson is forecasted at 76.6%, while Democrat Turek trails with 23.4%. The state has shifted steadily toward the GOP over recent cycles, continuing the trend seen since 2016. In Kansas, Republican Senator Roger Marshall remains in firm control with 85.9%, while Democrats hold 14.1%. Kansas has shown minor Democratic improvements in local races, but the Senate seat remains safely Republican. In Kentucky, Republican Daniel Cameron stands tall with 96.6%, leaving Democrat Stevenson with only 3.4%. Cameron's popularity within conservative circles keeps Kentucky deep red in 2026. In Louisiana, the GOP's grip is unshaken. Senator Bill Cassidy dominates with 97.7%, while Democrats have just 2.3%. The Republican lead in Louisiana reflects the continued strength of the party across the southern Gulf states. In Maine, it's one of the more competitive northeastern races. Democrat Janet Mills leads with 63.4%, while Republican Senator Susan Collins stands at 36.6%. This race remains interesting, as Maine's independent voters could still play a key role. But for now, Democrats lead comfortably. In Massachusetts, the Democratic advantage is overwhelming. Senator Ed Markey holds a 98.9% chance of victory, with Republicans at just 1.1%. Massachusetts continues its decades-long trend of solid Democratic representation. In Michigan, the numbers show a competitive but Democratic-leaning race. Democrat Mallory McMorrow is ahead with 55.1%. while Republican Mike Rogers is close behind at 44.9%. This is shaping up to be one of the key battlegrounds to watch in 2026. In Minnesota, Democrats maintain a strong lead. Peggy Flanagan stands at 81.6%, while Republicans trail at 18.4%. Minnesota's progressive base remains consistent, keeping it in the blue column. In Mississippi, Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith dominates again with 96.5%, while Democrats sit at 3.5%. There are no signs of major competition here, another safe seat for the GOP. In Montana, Republican Senator Steve Daines has a solid 90.3% chance of winning. Democrats hold only 9.7%. Montana continues to lean red, although Democrats remain somewhat competitive in local offices. In Nebraska, the GOP continues its winning streak. Republican Pete Ricketts leads at 87.5%, while Democrat Osborne is at 12.5%. This remains a firmly Republican state, though Democrats retain limited urban support in Omaha and Lincoln. In New Hampshire, Democrats appear well-positioned. Chris Pappas leads with 71.9%, while Republican Chris Sununu trails at 28.1%. The state has leaned blue in recent federal elections, and 2026 seems to follow that trend. In New Jersey, Senator Cory Booker remains dominant at 96.3%. Republicans stand at 3.7%. Booker's broad support base and name recognition make this one of the safest Democratic seats on the map. In New Mexico, Democrat Ben Ray Lujan holds 92.4% odds of victory. Republicans trail far behind with 7.6%. This is another blue-leaning state where Democrats remain secure. In North Carolina, the Democratic candidate Roy Cooper leads with 74.6%, compared to 25.4% for Republican Michael Whatley. This is an important southern swing state, and the current numbers favor Democrats significantly. In Ohio, Republicans have pulled ahead. John Husted leads 59.3% to 40.7% over Democrat Sherrod Brown. Brown is one of the few remaining Democrats with statewide appeal in Ohio, but the GOP continues to gain ground. In Oklahoma, it's another Republican sweep. Senator Markwayne Mullin holds 98.4%, while Democrats are at 1.6%. This remains one of the reddest states in the country. In Oregon, Democrats dominate once again. Senator Jeff Merkley enjoys 98.2%, while Republicans have 1.8%. The state continues its pattern of consistent blue support. In Rhode Island, Democrat Jack Reed is virtually unchallenged, leading with 97.3%. Republicans have just 2.7%. Rhode Island remains one of the most secure Democratic seats nationwide. In South Carolina, Senator Lindsey Graham maintains control with 92.8%. Democrats are far behind at 7.2%. Despite demographic shifts, this seat remains firmly Republican. In South Dakota, Republican Mike Rounds dominates with 97.4%. Democrats stand at 2.6%. The state remains a conservative stronghold with no serious Democratic challenge. In Tennessee, Republican Bill Hagerty leads at 98.5%. Democrats, with 1.5%, show minimal presence. The state continues to vote heavily Republican at the federal level. In Texas, Republican John Cornyn maintains a strong lead at 74.1%. Democrat James Tallarico has 25.9%, showing some improvement, but not enough to threaten GOP dominance. Texas remains red, but Democrats are slowly building in urban areas. In Virginia, Democrat Mark Warner looks secure at 96%. Republicans trail with 4%. Virginia continues to favor Democrats in statewide elections, solidifying its status as a blue-leaning state. In West Virginia, Republicans have complete control. Senator Shelley Moore Capito holds 98.6%, while Democrats are down to 1.4%. The state's transition from blue to deep red is now complete. And finally, in Wyoming, Republican Cynthia Lummis stands at 98.4%. Democrats are at 1.6%. Wyoming remains one of the most reliably Republican states in the entire country, with Republicans favored in most southern, plains, and mountain states, and Democrats holding strong along the coasts. The fight for the Senate majority remains highly competitive. As of now, race to the WH gives Republicans a 65.6% chance of controlling the Senate, while Democrats hold 34.4%. The road to 51 seats will depend on a handful of critical battlegrounds: Michigan, Georgia, North Carolina, and Maine. Every point matters as America heads into the 2026 midterms. This has been your detailed 2026 Senate election forecast update, only on today's Blueprint News. Stay tuned for more political insights, state-level breakdowns, and polling updates from across the nation.